And we're live.
All right, folks, welcome back to another week. This weekend search from the SEO Trading Dojo with all your favorite characters. We're going to everyone go around and say who you are, what you're doing these days. Ann, we got Ann. Apparently she's still living in the 60s or something.
What? I like the black and white. I like the black and white. It reminds me of my video conferencing days back in the 90s using See You, See Me. What am I doing? I'm doing a lot of changes to a different website, adding a lot of usability to generate leads. So we're doing, I know everybody in marketing hates a freaking squeeze page, a page that says capture their information. But when you are trying to sell cars, you can't follow up. You can't do anything. You can't help them.
Well, you can't hate anything as long as it works. Like, who cares if it's working?
Right. So that's exactly right. So, I mean, everybody in the automotive industry is saying, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. And I'm like, dude, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, we are taking all the market share from all of our competitors. It's very impressive. So I'm implementing that same feature on another website that's strictly for bad credit.
Nice. Yeah, if it's working, man, who cares?
Right?
That.
If you're getting leads, you can resell those, by the way.
Yeah, that's where we had started talking from a strategy point of view, but we need to get certain things nailed down before we expand that. But yes, that is the direction that we're looking at going, to be an affiliate. But let's just be clear, all of the aggregates, the cars.com, all of those.
Not affiliate. You can sell those leads directly to companies that resell them.
Right. Oh.
With PPC, I was doing PPC for payday loans. Qualify. Anybody who didn't qualify by us. We were turning around and selling those leads to another company.
No way.
Sure.
Dude, you are a genius.
Well, you know who was buying them?
Who?
Car companies. A lot of them were.
That's funny.
And
I was going to say,
you don't qualify for a payday loan, but you can get a car.
Hey, Dave, you'd be surprised.
Well, yeah.
It's America, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
actually,
it's hard to get to work, to pay for things. So I think a car is there's a special, there are some car companies actually have their own money. They have pockets of a bucket of money that they have themselves set aside for those people that absolutely do not qualify under any terms.
Right.
And
in Canada, there are companies that's all they sell to. Is of course the interest rates are much higher.
Well, yeah,
sure, but car loans too are some of the most secure loans out there because repo is so easy.
Yep, not like a house.
Yeah. Well, plus there's a negative marketing aspect to evicting people out of their homes. Nobody feels sorry for somebody that gets their car repoed because they didn't make that $107 a month payment, you know?
That's true.
True.
You put a family with 3 kids on the street, you know, they're going to get a lot of sympathy.
That's a little bit different, I agree.
Yeah, but, you know, I had a buddy who owned a car franchise years ago, and he said, you know, there's no loan collateral as secure as a car. I could go to a bank, I can factor and get 90% on my notes. And you can't get that from anything else simply because a car is so easy to repo. It's just, and you know, if it's a $30,000 car, I'm only loaning $12,000-$15,000 on it anyway. When you look at my invoice cost. So yeah, it's I can see where selling those leads off, where they would be real attractive to car dealers.
So that's what I'm working on. Thank you for the 411, Terry.
Hey, that's what we do here, right? Sure.
You guys are the reason we're getting all these new privacy laws.
All right, Doc, let's get the intros out of the way. Doc, I don't know who you are, know what you're doing, man.
Well, there's that too.
Okay, Doc Sheldon, Intrinsic Value SEO and Search News Central. And I'm spending the last few days just trying to take care of some of the maintenance on my own sites that I have been neglecting for the last couple months.
Oh.
And doing some writing, trying to finish up a second novel. And keep busy enough that my wife doesn't beat me to death with a honeydew list. So far, so good.
Yeah, I always got that. I have a website. All right, I forgot about that. I hardly ever touch mine. Canadian Steve.
Steve Bonin, Harris Web Creative. Ignored your site for the last couple of months, Doc. Like I've been like 3 years since I've played. And you pointed that out the other day to me. Thank you. This week I've been working on AdWords mostly, and after discussions in the forum, I'm gonna probably look at some dynamic keyword insertions for a few more ads and see what I can get from that, because the one I did was very successful.
Nice. Mr. Steve G.
Been in construction mode all week, trying to finish up the office, or at least get the floor finished. Should have that done another hour or so.
Oh, that's not bad. It only took 5 years. Congrats.
Yeah. What can I say? Somebody else has higher priorities than I do, and I kind of like to sleep in my own house, so I do her stuff first. I
thought you had that covered. I thought you had that covered with the slow cooker.
Yeah, well, I did too, but that only lasted a couple weeks. No, just still recovering from the trade show at Atlanta, making plans for going back again in July, hitting a conference in Florida here coming up in a couple of weeks.
You got cleaned up, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were the hit of the show. It was good. So our plan is to double what we did last time is our goal. But I also picked up, 3 or 4 potential new clients. So I've been working on them the last week, spending more time doing that and trying to figure out exactly what they need so they don't, instead of just saying, here's an invoice, pay it. It's like, well, let's find out what you need first, because, they think they need a new website. I think they need to relook at their marketing because they've got the wrong people coming to the website. So, we'll see how it goes.
All right, Mr. T.
I've been busy, so working on a few things.
And for the record, folks, his name is Terry Van Horn from SEO Pro.
Geez.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
Yeah, international website builders, but I'm retiring the end of the year. I'm old enough, I can quit doing that.
Nice.
SEO Pros, which is what I'm going to do afterwards. And SEO Dojo Radio is almost ready.
Yes, I almost got that. I was looking at that later.
You realize that me, you, and Steve have been doing this for over 10 years.
Oh, yeah. I think 07 maybe we started. I don't even know. Yeah. Podcasts and then Hangouts. We've got at least a few thousand of these fucking things.
I don't know. We have 250.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Well, that's just the podcast one, yeah.
Well, there's 250. I think I'm not sure what's going on because there's missing some. The very first one we did with, whatchamacallit, Mr.
Was it Rob?
Yeah, I didn't know what to call him,
Yeah.
Wasn't sure since he's not here to kind of, But there's him and Justini, of course. We all got to get together for at least one more.
Yeah, for sure. Tim, throw it out there, man.
Tim Calling, a Servant's Heart web design and marketing. Mostly work with healthcare and elder care related organizations. And nothing startling this week, just doing the normal work. Nothing serious to report.
Excellent. Blair?
Well, currently I've been doing quite a bit of different things. I'm doing quite a big server upgrade to make my sites load faster. I've also taken quite a lot of new clients this week. I'm also working with quite a famous guy, Loopline, who's one of the best minds when it comes to Scrapebox. So we're doing currently a team project and a different thing. I'm also as well starting to offer an on-page SEO service. It seems to be, so from what I've seen of it so far, going quite well. One of my friends made a software called edu-testify.com. So I'm currently helping my friend make a program a bit better and also working on to try and get him into Google News.
Nice. Well, boys, I guess this is since we're just before we can't. Were we on the air when we were talking about that update? I don't even know. Anyway, so yeah, that core update was March 7th to 9th. And then I think where it gets a little weird here is that around February 21st, I believe it was, Google said they were starting to migrate everything to the mobile first index, which kind of makes it all clusterfucky because if you're seeing movement, was it the core update? And did your site get moved to the mobile first index? There might be a little forensic issue there, but apparently some point. And now John Mueller's saying they might start notifying people when your site moves, but who knows? You could already be on it and not know it. It's a sort of a slow rollout to the mobile first index. It's not happening all at once, so who knows? But something to watch if you start seeing things getting moved around and funky. So I guess mobile is officially a thing now.
I wonder if they are actually doing it 100%, or if they will at least phase it in based on niches or.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about like any kind of like anything like that. All they said is they're just sort of rolling it out slowly as they go. But I haven't heard anything as far as not fully implementing it. So
I would think that trying to roll it out across the board all in one fell swoop would be extremely difficult. Whether they go regionally or niche wise or whatever, you'd think they'd almost have to break it up into packets.
Well, and
yeah, which is what they seem to be doing.
If they really care about the user experience, there are some niches or segments where I think people still tend to mostly search on non-mobile devices, or like, for instance, for healthcare.
Well, B2B, I would think, would be more often on a desktop than mobile.
Absolutely. So if they care about people actually getting the best outcome for their searches, the best experience, then they might not actually roll it out across all those spaces, all those verticals, at least not at once.
Yeah, it's rolling out slowly. What the criteria for that is, I don't know. But yeah, if you're not mobile friendly at this point, you damn well better be. Well, like everyone should have been years ago, but there's still some holdouts and there's still some things that some people that haven't fully gone there, but it's a reality, man. I remember like 2007, 2008, 2009, it's coming, mobile. Then it never did. But finally, so now we've come full circle and it's mobile first. So
actually the next get-in, like that was mobile get-in, at least partly, maybe SSL. In July, when suddenly all the non-SSL websites start showing non-secure in the address bar, that may trigger a bunch of one-off projects.
Oh yeah, same with the HTTPS. That's supposed to be fully implemented, I think, for July. Meaning, if you're not HTTPS, and Chrome's going to give the warning and shit like that.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's supposed to be, I think, July or something. Is it?
Yep.
Fully implemented.
That's what they said.
Yeah. So that's got to be done as well. If it isn't, which I haven't.
When you say Chrome is going to give the warning, you mean the little warning in the address bar, or are they going to do that big?
I think you get you get the red page.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The page is not secure. You want the continue thing.
So, that's not what I heard. But
what is it supposed to be then?
Well, what I read was in one of their blog posts recently, they said that they would show that address bar non-secure or not secure label.
Oh, okay. Well, nobody looks at that, so who cares?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. The
Depends
average user, do you think the average user really notices that? I don't know.
hard to say. I think it'll matter in the healthcare segment.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly should. I mean, I would think that, people that are aware of HIPAA would certainly be more leery of something like any kind of, especially if they actually provide a pop-up. And, what Google does and what the browsers do may be two different things.
Yeah,
I
I'm
wonder
talking
what
about
they're going to do in the
Chrome,
SERP.
Yeah. I am talking about Chrome, aren't I?
Well, and you got Firefox that said they're going to be doing it too.
For their
Although
10% of the
Firefox
market.
isn't a major segment, but still, I don't know. I think it was Safari that had also said they would. I'm not sure of that. I believe it was Safari.
Once Chrome leads the way, the others will probably follow.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and apparently it changes the crawl priority. So the mobile version of your site's going to have the crawl priority over the non-mobile versions. Best be looking at all your sites on your phones for usability as well, I'd imagine, at this point, if you haven't done it. So,
I will say it seems like lately a big part of my work is just keeping up with all the changes on my client sites.
My bounce rate for my mobile site is a lot higher than my desktop.
That's because people are going to your site when they're bored on transit or something just to look at a car.
I hope that's the reason.
Yeah.
That's probably valid. Yeah.
That is a good reason to say that. Yeah. But it makes me rethink, like I want to do a mobile redesign.
again, but you can also, do split testing and stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's always an option.
Yep.
Do you have a separate mobile site, Ann?
No.
No, it's just responsive, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So we would just need to make certain changes to make things more readable.
So what you do is you put a big red button on your landing page that says "Pretty girls here," and and everybody clicks the second button, and your bounce rate goes way down.
There we go. Actually, believe it or not, somebody brought something like that to me.
Well,
using the pretty girl to get somebody to click. I said, "Are you nuts?"
Is he still working there?
No. Actually, I took his job.
What's your demographic? I mean, as far as male to female.
It's predominantly female. I haven't looked actually, but I have some of the. Well, I think what happens is a lot of the research is made by the female, and then a lot of the buying is them coming in together is what's happening.
Yeah, you come in together and you say, "Yes, dear." Yeah,
exactly. That's right.
Yeah. The big red
Words of
button
wisdom.
says enter contest for free Chippendale calendar.
Well, let me tell you something. I've had a lot of success giving away iPads.
Oh,
Just saying.
Chippendale calendars are probably cheaper.
Right? They are cheaper. That's funny.
So that's interesting, Ann. So you give away an iPad if they do what?
A lot of times it's I've done a couple different types. So one is doing user-generated content. So what I was trying to do is get images of people in their cars or the car on vacation. So what I would do is I'd say, take your Kia out, take a picture with you, and the person that wins gets an iPad.
So it's a
and
contest.
Then it is, yes.
A drawing. Yeah.
It's a drawing, yes. And it's we engrave it with Lawrence Kia on the back of it. So it works really well. I've done it with dogs, dog treats.
You engrave on the back of a dog?
No. Sorry. Again, I speak English, which is the way I speak my English. So I apologize.
That's called an ambiguous antecedent.
But yeah, those have been very successful in generating ginormous followings. So a lot of times I'll be, you know, in order to qualify, you have to have liked us on Facebook and you have to have liked, and that's in the fine print, right? But also, it also is in the big print as well, but it basically says in the fine print as well. So it's helped with growing my social presence enormously, like really big.
So
And
have you gotten any blowback from Facebook over that?
no, and I haven't done one this year. And what I do is I make the landing page though off of the site. Right? So I'm not running it on Facebook. I'm running it on my servers, on our site servers. So no, I have not had any backflack from them. But I've also sent it in an email, right? So you use all the different channels to get the word out. And I tell you, the lists are ginormous. If you're ever trying to build, that's majorly a good strategy still. I always thought it was kind of like not relevant. But even if it's not relevant, just getting your brand in front of people has a big influence.
Yeah, I did for a client. I did something along those lines about 5 years ago for a client in the penny auction niche, and we built 42,000 and some lists in a period of 3 weeks on Facebook, strictly on Facebook. Till I got hammered.
Oh. And you know, then you go, what do I do with it? You know, and the list dies pretty quickly if you don't cultivate it.
Well, plus the fact if the client considers that something to go on their list and just drops it in a drawer and forgets about it, this is what happened.
Oh, Frank in the event page is saying chat support pics using women get more engagement. I guess in your case, though, if you got more women, then your chat support pics should be like GQ kind of guys or something. Cultivate a lot of hotties for your persona. All right. Well, what else went on this week? Anybody? Anything interesting?
I got one thing. I don't know if anybody noticed it yesterday. Sugar Ray is retiring.
Yes. Oh, Miss Dolan?
She stepped down as a CEO of Pushfire, and Sean is going to take it over. And she has started up a couple of sites, and she's doing real estate investment, flipping homes and refabbing homes.
Imagine her selling a house. Oh my God!
Down in Houston,
you better buy this house now, motherfucker.
Well, she's doing real well and picking up homes for a song down there that had flood damage and rehabbing them and yeah, she's got a high level of energy and she's got a good head on her shoulders. I think she'll do well there. Oh, you know, I would wish her best of luck to both of them. But Pushfire is going to be strictly managed by Sean and going strictly paid now, paid and social.
Well, she always had a large percentage of PPC stuff over there, anyways.
Well, that's an affiliate, obviously, but she's stepping back entirely from the affiliate, which is kind of a loss. I mean, she's given a lot to the community over the years, and I know I love her soundbite emails and newsletter, but that's going away as well. Damn it.
Oh, she's just like Terry. I just like getting her going.
Yeah, she's fun to wind up.
Get her on her show and just wind her up a bit.
Wind up and run, because if you piss her off, it's going to be blood.
Talk, man. Kills me. Yeah, I don't know. It's been busy. Kind of a quiet week. Had some French Canadians. I don't know. I just won't work with Canadians. Especially fucking French people, man.
I have not had great experiences in Montreal. I know that.
Oh, dude, yeah, this guy is just trying to tell me what to do, and it's like, you know, it's the old. Well, why are you hiring someone if you're going to tell me what to do? Go fucking do it yourself. Like, I'm not even taking the job. Like it's already been a frustrating just in the first two, you know, contact meetings. So it's like, nope, I'll just say goodbye to that. Get the hell out of here. Because I literally wrote like a proposal and sent it over, and it came back. Well, why do we need to do this? Or why do we need to do that? Like, okay, forget it. Bye. not micromanaging my ass. That's for sure. Not happening. In other news, well, we got our. I know Terry wanted to talk about his ranking reports, but you know. Where is it?
You might have stepped away.
Oh yeah, it's okay. We'll be fine. All right, so keywords in title. Yes, as Terry said, 35% of pages ranking high for don't have keywords in the title. Yeah, why wouldn't you put 65% do? Doesn't even, what? That makes no sense. Apparently, keywords in an anchor text are good too. Who knows?
What?
Yeah, keywords in anchor text. Yeah.
Wow.
Radical concept.
Content with within the top 3 is 45% longer than content for all 20th position. Like, who even thought of that? I know what we'll do. We'll compare first to third with the 20th. But again, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on the goddamn query. Like, you know, I don't know. These kind of stupid fact studies. It was funny because one of the things in this thing was our ranking factor is bad for the industry. One of the guys who actually he's presenting a ranking factors fucking thing at SMX. He goes, well, yeah, it can be. Why are you doing it? Are you serious, dude? It's like, yeah. So, but, you know, Steve, what was that one with that one page, that one line fucking thing you guys had years ago?
Oh, how big is a millimeter?
Yeah. So it's one sentence. You don't need 1,200 words for that. Like, so what? Some idiot's gonna spend 1,200 words telling you how big a millimeter is? It's just the problem is you know you get these studies and people are gonna like take them verbatim and start running around and creating 1,200 word pages for no reason when it's not warranted. So I'm just not a believer in that.
I think it's clickbait.
Well, it most certainly is.
If you saw an article that had the headline, 2/3 of ranking, pages or whatever, have keywords in the title, would you bother to even click on it and read it? Probably not.
Well, you know, it's tool companies, right? It's SEMrush, it's Search Metrics, people like that. So, you know, obviously they're trying to get people there. Like, when's the last time you saw an SEO actually do one of these? Probably never.
One thing that has changed in the last 1 or 2 weeks is this isn't a big deal, but I'm stalling till Terry comes back. That Google My Business is back now, allowing you to put in a description and displaying it on your knowledge panel.
Right, that was Darren's video or something, was it?
Yeah.
What's that?
That was Darren's video?
I think he did just do a video on that like yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's been around. I noticed it 2 weeks ago and then posted.
Now, is that rolling out slowly or something? Because I remember earlier, just when we were in the green room, some people were saying that some have seen it, some aren't. So I'm guessing they're rolling out.
I've seen it, yeah. And the question is, you know, will it use that information to, in any way, to rank pages or anything like that? It's hard to know. But it's one of those things where they keep changing all these little niggly things, and you have to keep up with all those things. So I spend a lot of time these days doing that, it seems like. I have a spreadsheet with my client sites and columns for, do we have a description? Do we have, you know, tags on the links to the homepage? Do we have, you know, all these things? Have we uploaded videos?
It hardly matters if they're going to use it for ranking or not. I mean, it's like we were talking yesterday about the franchise sites. In a lot of franchisees, the Google My Business page is far more important than any website that they have. And so it's just that knowledge panel. That's as far as people ever search. They do the Google search. They see the knowledge panel. They have the information they want on the knowledge panel.
So the reason it might matter in terms of the SERP page or the SERP is if somebody searches for a company by name or by brand, then sure, it'll bring up the knowledge panel probably. But if they don't, if they're searching for goods or services, you do want to be the one company that they choose to present a knowledge panel for. So it matters probably for that.
Right.
Along with, actually, more importantly, the category that you put in.
But the number one, the position one company in the SERP is going to be, they're using other things to get there, not their Google My Business page.
Well, I think he's talking about ranking in the boxes, though. No.
There's some reason why they want that there, and it could be just because they do want people to rely more on the knowledge panel than on clicking through the web pages. It could be that simple.
Right.
Well, Frank Watson's asking if anyone's getting any mileage out of Schema these days.
Any additional mileage? It matters.
Yeah, again, I think it's kind of niche industry specific, but yeah.
It's becoming more like table stakes, though. You've just got to do it.
Yeah. AMP, I'm not so sure yet. I'm still really not running around throwing AMP on a lot of things. So. I have not taken that step yet, really.
Well, I would be more interested in it if it seemed to matter to my industry, but also if there was a decent plugin around to just automatically apply it for pages and not just posts.
Yeah.
The official WordPress one only does it for posts, and I only have 1 or 2 clients now where we do blog posts instead of.
And really, like for something like you're in with your niches, like do they even have carousels for that on mobile? I don't know.
Nah.
I wouldn't think so. So not sure the value in that.
I was talking to Tim this week, and he was sharing a very cool social media tool that he's using. I don't know if he wants to share that. It was he kind of demoed it for me. It was pretty amazing.
What is it?
Missing letter, and it's spelled, missing that word, and then LETTR. I don't really know why they named it that, except that it's pretty easy to remember the name then. But this matters if you believe that sharing new content out to social media sites on a recurring basis is important. I do for my particular market. And what it does is it takes a piece of content like a new page or a new blog post, or even old ones, you can have it do this too, and it will create a campaign of, let's see, I think it's 9 future blog, rather shares out to your social media platforms that are promoting that piece of content. And it's very clever in the way that it selects excerpts to include and little promotional plug, language. It sort of out of the box will create posts that it will then schedule for day 0, the day that it actually begins the process, and then day 3 or 4, I think, and then day 7, day 14, day 30, 90, 180, 270, and 365. So you do have to watch a little bit and make sure you tell it to stop if it's something seasonal. But
I'll drop a link to it in the chat there, and I'll put it on the event page.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll share it on the event page so everyone else can check it out. Did you try it out there, Steve, or did you play with it yet?
No, I haven't. I'm looking to the future for my current clients don't use content. My next client that I'm building a website for, starting next week, it will be something that he'll be looking at is constant contact creation. So I'm kind of getting my ducks in a row for that.
I'll have to check that out later for sure. So many sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say when Anne was talking about her lists, I was thinking of her when when I was thinking about this. That would be something that she would use.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a good way to organize all your favorite porn directors, I'd imagine.
You guys,
You're never living that down, man. You know that, right? Like,
I know I won't.
that is going to live on forever, man.
It's fine. It's fine. I love it.
One thing I want to know, Ann, in seriousness, was
here we go.
Are you working for one auto dealer or a group?
I am working for one auto dealer with scope to have multiple. And he has lots of different ideas. So I take a lot of his information and build projects around it. So I have actually consulted for multiple brands, and that was really fun. But it was more for building the PPC the way I build it, to generate leads. And then it's just, you keep getting up against the same issues with a lot of these owners and salespeople. You know, a salesperson doesn't want to actually follow up on a lead if they don't have the make and model of the vehicle. So it's like, what? That's a legitimate lead. You need to use your tools, follow up, and act like they're just on the lot, you know? So what are you interested in? You know, starting that. And, you know, when you start digging into some of the issues, it's all because a lot of times the salesperson doesn't want to follow up on a lead if it doesn't have first name, last name, email. And that goes across all automotive. And you have to have really good owners and business owners that are pushing processes in order to be successful. So what ends up happening is when I work for other companies, it's this constant, you know, source of frustration, because if they don't think it's working because of sales, they aren't looking in the right spot. They need to look at their business processes and their follow-up as opposed to the numbers that I'm delivering. Because, you know, when you get a big spike in leads, if your sales don't go up, it's bad leads. No, they are bad leads.
And there's bad salesmen.
Right?
That's a common problem with salesmen. They only want the easy ones.
Yeah.
And I've sat and watched at car dealerships while buying, and you could tell which sales guys are good and which ones aren't, because just by the way they follow up on whoever comes through the lot. But it's not just car sales. It's across the board with all sales reps. They want the easy slam dunks. They don't want to work too hard for it, because for them, they're working for free unless somebody buys something.
Well,
they're always
sales people are coin operated. I mean, and frankly, we all work for money, right? So I can understand it up to a point. But yeah, they'll go for the low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we all do.
I went through a similar thing this week, and Tim, this might be something you're interested in. I took this from another website. It's instead of a contact form per se, it's just a little block that says "Have us contact you," and it's one field to fill in, and it takes either a telephone number or an email, and that's it. And it sends an email to the owner, and it's based around seniors, you know. So anyway, the owner says, well, I don't want an email in there because I only want to answer questions on email. And I said, all you do is say, hi Helen, how are you? How can I help you today? And she says, oh, I never thought of that.
We actually, if you've got a link, you can shoot me to where that's implemented. I'd love to see it, Steve. I appreciate that. What we have been doing with some success is on some client sites we're using chat tools. I've experimented with a bunch of different ones, where you can offer them different choices, kind of like channels. And one of the channels very often that we set up for a client is, instead of I'd like a live chat, it's I'd like somebody to call me back, and we pop up a form saying, well, great, what's your phone number? What time would you like us to call you? And so similar kind of an idea. Sometimes people do want to call. And
Right.
some people like that. Other people like the anonymity of a chat. They're fearful of being hounded by salespeople if they provide contact. They'd like the live chat in those cases.
Right. Well, the whole point is, and that's the game that we're in, is that different people are more comfortable with different things. So you offer it all to them.
Yep. I actually been working a lot with different chat tools lately, trying to do that sort of engagement piece more effectively. The tools that are out there, there's some that are better than others. Some are god awful expensive, but some are affordable. So
I just dropped it in the chat. It's still a work in progress, okay. So it's a temporary domain.
Appreciate it. The chat tool that I've been working with lately that seems to be pretty good is one called Fresh Chat. Anybody's interested in? Oh, let's see. I clicked on your link. Oh, there you are. Okay.
You have to say it again because you froze.
Yeah, I thought it was me. Well, I was like, whoa, what's happening in here? What happened?
I clicked on your link and went to your test site, and my computer froze. I don't know what that means.
Oh, he's got that crazy. He's got the injections in there, buddy. You watch it now,
yeah,
Steve.
Really? Oh no. Anyway, the tool that I'm finding interesting is called Fresh Chat, and it's part of a collection of users, I don't know, sales and CRM and help desk tools that I'm not interested in, but this is one component that I think has promise. So.
And you're using it just for chat?
Well, he said there's a suite of tools, but that's the only one he's using.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Thanks for translating, Dave.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for. He's Canadian, see, so I have to say A after the sentence.
I speak Californian, so
yeah, I have to put A on the end. So.
Okay.
And a boot.
And a boot, yes, a boot.
The site is a boot. A suite of tools, eh?
Yeah.
I translate Canadian.
Very good.
Speaking of tools, anybody used Cognitive in a while or anytime recently?
Not in a long time. They it must be about a year ago, they had a rather major upgrade.
Right.
And I didn't get right around to checking it, and my subscription ran out, and I decided I didn't need to update it. So I haven't looked at it since then. It was pretty good before that, but not as good as some of the others.
In my long history of getting free tools, I have now got a free account over there because they want me to look at some stuff. So,
what do you think?
I haven't been there yet. He just set it up. He got a hold of me yesterday on Skype because he wanted to do an interview, like a video interview next Wednesday with me on some crap. I guess they're doing videos as well. So,
guys, I gotta go. Right. Sorry.
No
emergency on Instagram.
Everyone's
freaking out, so I gotta figure out what the hell's going on.
Have fun.
Yay.
Yay. See you next time.
See you soon. Yeah, there was some other tool he was asking me to check out as well, Doc. So yeah, I'll take a peek. If it's anything interesting, I'll send you the login. You can go fart around with it.
Cool.
It's just that's how I roll now. If someone says, "Oh, can we do an interview with you?" I go, "Sure, give me a free lifetime account."
So I do it as well.
Hey man, forget it. I got my SEM Rush account free. This one free. Oh my god, Authority Labs.
As our fearless leader, Dave, you should be not only getting a free account, you should get
discount codes. Yes, I know. Actually, I'm gonna hit. I will be hitting them up. I will definitely get some discount codes on all these people.
And then you can start charging for the dojo again.
Like a 50%.
Right, yes, I know. At some point in the next couple of months, we're going to finally finish that up. So, yeah, when I do, I'll definitely be have some discount codes for everyone. as part of the relaunch for sure.
I mean, actually, seriously, I belonged to a buying group for 30 years, and it worked out really, really well.
Buying group for tools?
No, it was a buying group for office supplies, but like we were retailers. We were buying at wholesale level, actually below wholesale level, because we were 80 stores, all independently owned. It's a Canadian concept. It's
Hey,
yeah, well, it is. It never the idea never really caught on in the United States. They went the franchise model down there. We went the buying group model.
Another thing that another way of buying tools a little more affordably is with these lifetime deals. The one that I've had some success with finding good things is AppSumo. Anybody?
I
Yeah,
remember
I'm the
that one.
same all the time.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it playing with it for a bit.
It's still around. That's how I got involved with a couple of the tools that I use now, like Missing Letter. That actually had an offer where AppSumo had one where you could buy multiple counts of a lifetime license and basically get a higher level of the Missing Letter service. You know, more accounts and more social media profiles and things like that. So
Well,
some of them don't work out, but some do.
The other thing, Dave, is you offer them a slot on this show for a week or two, like you did, and I don't remember their names, with Screaming Frog. But, you know, I bought Screaming Frog and have done for the last 2 years because of the show that you had with the guy on.
Well, yeah, and I think those are always useful. Again, we're gonna have our buddy Simon on at one point soon, but I think those are always good. We used to always have Majestic on, and as much as people even know a tool like Majestic, Dixon would come on and start showing things that we didn't even know it could do. I mean, so sometimes it's good to have these guys come in and like show the less intuitive features of their tool sets. You know what I mean? I think those could be valuable.
Yeah, every time Dixon was on, he showed us something.
Yeah,
that nobody
and we're
was
like,
aware
"Whoa,
of every time."
where is this?" Like,
That's
why would I
actually
fix that
very, very
interface a bit?
helpful. That's very helpful.
So yeah, I think I'll definitely start doing that too. Plus, anytime if they got some new feature coming, it's a good time to pull them onto a show as well, right?
And it's good for this podcast too.
Yep, for sure. This is a video though. Podcasts are audio.
Our podcast only audio?
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, showing a tool set wouldn't be so good on a podcast.
No, podcasts can be video also.
Are they? Okay, all right, fine. I thought that
Well, the CBC puts all its stuff on podcast.
All right. That's the name. Would that be a blog post, a video post? I don't know. So yeah, we'll find out. Here's the one tool he was telling me about. He wanted me to look at, and well, that's not the tool. Obviously, you got to be logged in. But that's a blog post about it. So I'll stick that in the event page too, I guess. Gotta sing for my supper here, Again, I can't stand behind any of it because I haven't tried it. So I don't. We shall see.
I could be wrong, but I have the impression that the last time I looked at their pricing, it was pretty expensive.
Was it? Yeah, hold on. I don't know. I again, yeah, like I said, I haven't used it in ages. Pretty sure last time I used it was when we had free accounts through the dojo. So, so I don't care about the pricing, do I? So 25 sites is $100 a month. That gives you up to 200K backlinks, rank tracking, keyword tool, dashboard. I don't know. Yeah, again, I had to play with this tool set because it doesn't look like it does a whole lot. So it's $100 a month, I guess.
Tool.
Well, again, I want to check the rank tracking as well because I always like to have multiples of that because they all tend to be a little fucking wonky. So, I always like to have at least two sets of data for that stuff.
Yeah. I keep going back to Bright Local for rank tracking and localized, rank tracking. Their tools are very affordable, and they do a good job.
Nice.
And they keep rolling out new features too.
Yeah, I use Toady Labs because for the you can set it to track for mobile as well as desktop, and you can even set it by postal code and shit like that. Like, if I want to see mobile in San Antonio, Texas, or something like that in the rank tracking, you can actually put those in. So those are quite handy.
You can do those with Bright Local too. Those are good features, really good.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's very handy because these days trying to check it from one place to another is going to be different. So always a fan of that.
Yes, I have found that Bright Local is very affordable. I don't even think about it.
Well, it depends on how much you're doing with it. If you begin doing a lot, you can buy add-ons for extra searches or keywords or things like that. But I actually check a lot of keywords for my clients, just looking for trends. And it's amazing how much of a difference it makes if you say something like hospice care as opposed to end of life care, as opposed to, I don't know, terminal illness, and then watch how that changes over time. Some going up and some going down.
Yeah, people talk about and again, I'm not a huge fan of sending, ranking reports to clients and using them for shit like that. It's not a big deal to me, but I like to watch because I'll track all the competitors. And so I like to see when a query space is changing. Like, is it something Google did? Was it a competitor that did something to move up, or did Google change that query space? And you can see good signs of when that's happening. And I mean, that tends to be like, there's always been that camp of ranking reports are useless and stuff. I think it's how you use them and what you're using them for,
Yep.
I'm watching to see, is Google making is there something like around Hummingbird or something like this core update, back on March 7th. I want to look at that whole query space across 10 different sites and see what's going on. Try and figure out what Google's doing.
I like SEMrush for that, and I like Bright Local for that. They're both very good for that. And for backlinks, Majestic is very good for that too.
Yeah. Again, I don't use Ahrefs anymore. Pretty much just Majestic. Obviously Search Console, but
Majestics is not necessarily as slick in its UI.
No, definitely not.
It does.
It's a little clumsy. It takes some time to dig up the stuff you want sometimes, but
it works well though. And Majestic is a much better buy.
Yeah. They got expensive over the years, haven't they? Jesus.
They all have. Everything has.
Yes. Speaking of Search Console, is anyone using the new one yet, or is it still useless?
It's throwing off a whole bunch of messages that are a pain in the neck.
Yeah, no shit.
I haven't been over there in a couple of weeks. It's still just not enough of the feature set was pulled over yet. So
I've been tempted to file a spam report on them.
Oh, you have an index coverage issue, or my favorite is a jobs something issue. Like, for sites that aren't listing any jobs, who cares?
So yeah, hopefully I'll get useful at some point. I don't know. I just, like I said, it's, I like the interface and everything else. It just doesn't have all the data. I hope they bring it all over. Still kind of worried of what it's going to look like when they cut off the other one. So
they're also rolling out a change in the dashboard for Google My Business, and they seem in both cases to sort of be in this weird state where they haven't really rolled all the features over and they haven't rolled all the users over. It's kind of weird.
well, like I said, yeah, it is. The whole Search Console thing is still kind of useless. Again, I just hope they bring everything over eventually.
I could see them wanting to roll out something entirely new to a particular subset for debugging purposes.
Yeah, maybe more active users or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, or a niche or whatever. But to simply roll over 2 of the potential 20 features that it should have, what the hell are you going to get out of that? You're not going to get any meaningful feedback other than this really sucks.
I read an interesting
That is the
article.
feedback. Where is everything?
I read an interesting article by Mike Blumenthal about how sometimes these things that we observe as being just weird and clumsy may be a result of different teams with different priorities at Google. Maps versus Google My Business or Maps for especially AdSense. And there may be some truth in that, where things appear out of nowhere, and it seems surprising to us, and probably there's some place within Google it's surprising to some other team as well. So if they seem confused sometime, they probably are.
Like I said, apparently we're supposed to get notifications for this mobile index. So I wonder how much that's really going to have an effect, though. Mobile first index.
Can't tell until they do it, but we'll see.
Well, apparently it started rolling out, so yet another thing that's rolling out slowly.
I mean, until I see it is what I mean.
Yeah. So, but again, like if they don't tell you, they boot you over, how the hell do you even know?
Surprise.
Yeah. Rankings just went through the shitter. Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Yep. Oh, did we hurt you?
Yeah. Just keep working on improving your site and making it better. Okay.
Anyway, guys, I got to go. I got something coming up at the top.
Yeah,
of the
we're
hour.
at the top of the hour anyways, and we got a meeting, so we're going to cut her half an hour shorter this week. So
Later, Tim.
I got to get my ass into a meeting at 1 o'clock. So
get better, get well.
Oh yeah, man, the pills are starting to kick in actually now. I just bought them before it came on. So
better living through chemistry.
Yes. Drugs for everybody.
My song from the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Oh, there was Wissam. There goes Wissam. All right, well, yeah, Doc, unless you got anything else, I think we can kill it a half hour early for once.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the show's actually supposed to be an hour. We just always tend to go an hour and 45 because we're busy talking. So, ouch! Your ecstatic is all shit, bro. That's horrible. What the hell?
Must be broadcasting from Elon's Tesla in the sky.
Is it all right, folks? Yeah, you're good now. You're good now. All right, we're just shutting this down. You can keep chatting with the boys after this. All right, folks. Yeah, thanks for tuning in as always. We'll see you next Friday. I think in the next couple weeks we're gonna organize a Search Geek Speak. But for now, folks, everyone say goodbye. Let's get out of here. Bye.
See you later.